I think Maynard's got a little bit of a plan, but I don't think too much. I mean, a lot of times I think his brilliance comes from a loose sketch of the idea and trusting those around him to kind of fill in the blanks.
Billy Howerdel, thank you so much for hanging tonight, man.
Nice to meet you. Nice to see you.
And this year, he is helping celebrate Maynard James Keenan's 60th birthday with the one-of-a-kind Sessanta tour. Let's talk about that tour. It's a perfect circle, Puscifer and Primus all coming together to celebrate Maynard's big 60th birthday. It kicks off on April 2nd in Boston, runs through the beginning of May. I think it wraps up in Queens in New York City.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty unique night, right? All three bands, you share the stage at the same time. Is that right?
Right. Right.
Which
Yeah.
is how you guys did it for Maynard's 50th, right? It was a perfect circle, Pussifer, and failure.
That's right. Yeah. And
So,
some other surprise guests. Yeah.
so I
And we,
mean, there aren't many tours like that. I can't even think of any tours like that. I mean, what is that like for you as a guy who's played very, quote unquote normal, typical shows to then prepare for a show like this?
it's a lot of prep. It's more prep for this. Like I said, we've been in like Christopher's in there rehearsing right now. I don't know if you can hear that background, but um, and we're just rehearsing independently. And then as of tomorrow, we load into a different studio and then all come together and see how we're going to fit. And it's a lot of moving parts. So we are yet to figure it out. But this next week we will be. And what we do when we are playing our songs, are we going to integrate with the other bands? And we've kind of got a little bit of a roadmap thinking about it, but I think the spontaneity is going to happen next week, and it's going to be fun and stressful, but mostly fun. You know, grab grab Karina and say, okay, can you please sing my backup here? Or I'm going to go do something else. And I don't know what I can't even imagine playing on a Primus song at this point, but maybe you'll see in the tour that something will. I don't know. That's an intimidating prospect.
It kind of reminds me of old school, and it's more on the countryside, but those like, like song swaps or guitar pulls where three or four songwriters will sit around and they'll each just play a song and kind of tell a story. Is that I know you're in the process of preparing and tour and getting ready for the tour, and I also know you don't want to give away too much, but is it kind of that like you're sharing the stage, kind of swapping stories or songs, or is it just sort of I mean, it can't be a free for all, I know, but what is that like, man?
Yeah, we don't know. I could try and hold something, close to the chest here and not tell you, but the fact is we're going to know very soon. But
Yeah.
now, everyone having, brushed off the cobwebs, we haven't played, Perfect Circle hasn't played a show in 7 years, 6 years. What has it been? Yeah. Like December of 2018 in Europe
Yeah.
was our last shows. So yeah, I had to kind of crack open the old stuff, make sure it still works, make sure I can remember how to play what I'm playing, which I'm almost there. Um, and then yeah, like it's gonna be it's gonna be organic and chaotic, and that's going to inform and instruct how we play with each other in this next week. So like you unsure, I'm unsure too. We shall see. I think Maynard's got a little bit of a plan, but I don't think too much. I mean, a lot of times I think his brilliance comes from a loose sketch of the idea and trusting those around him to kind of fill in the blanks. And having people in your orbit that you're like-minded enough to connect those dots, but different enough from you that you're not being repetitive is the key. And I think he's got three successful bands that he's kind of aligned himself with different musicians that kind of bring that out. And I think that's the cool part about this tour is like him, you know, knowing that, leaning into that, embracing that, especially as you get older, it's not got to be just about one person. It's about the collective. And that's exciting for all of us to be a part of that.
Well, and it requires, man, it requires so much trust, right? Between the bands, between the different musicians, the different singers, like, I mean, a couple different singers, but just so much trust on stage to be able to be spontaneous and yet still make a show that sounds good. That's fun to
Yeah.
watch. Like that's a whole other level of trust, I think.
Yeah. And be on time.
Be on time. Yes, most importantly.
That's the most
So
important.
you mentioned a Perfect Circle's last show. And you think about December 18 and all that has happened in the world since then.
Yeah.
But also for you, you released your first album under your name, What Normal Was, in
Yeah.
2022. So what's on the horizon for, I mean, let me ask, what's on the horizon for you, your solo music, and or Ashes Divide?
I was thinking on this tour, like originally I was thinking about going right back out, but I'm gonna probably record maybe a few songs and then go out again. Did a quick run in the US and that's it. I really do want to get to Europe with the solo record. So we're still putting it together. I was, if you asked me last week, I would have had a more defined schedule, but I will. That's to be announced.
Understood, man. And I'm sure a question that will have a understandably vague answer, but is there anything on the horizon for new music from Perfect Circle?
Yeah, we're going to play one of them on this tour coming up.
Awesome. That's a good
Yeah,
answer. That's not vague.
new song. New song is in the can, as you say, and we are just ran through it for the first time 2 days ago. So we are now finding our bearings quick. Usually, do a song, record it. We'll have months to kind of digest it, and this has been on the fast track. So it's interesting. It's very exciting, very unknown and exciting, and trying to pull off all the little sonic. There's little for what I lack in guitar ability, I try and make up for in sound design and like texture, and that stuff takes a long time. Harder
Yeah.
than figuring out how to play notes.
Well, as if the tour wasn't stressful enough, you guys tossed in a new song too, right?
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't say stressful. I'll quote Maynard James Keenan and say, "Don't think of it as a chore. Think of it as a challenge." It's definitely just a challenge.
I
It's
like
not
that.
penny like yeah,
I like that. So listen, last question. What kind of birthday gift do you buy for a guy like Maynard?
easy. No, not easy. I've had a couple things along the way, but he's got kids now, so I don't think I can get everything I was thinking. There's usually an inappropriate spin to it. No, it's tough. I've got a couple ideas, but I haven't purchased it yet. But we'll see. So I don't want to say what it is. But
All
do you
right,
know
all
his
right.
size? Do you know his shoe size? If you can find that out, I'll
I'll text you after this, man. Yeah.
thank you.
Billy Howerdel, thank you so much for hanging, man. Don't miss a Perfect Circle on the road with Puscifer and Primus on the Sessanta tour celebrating Maynard James Keenan's 60th birthday, kicking off soon, April 2nd in Boston. You get the full tour schedule, ticket information, everything at loudwire.com. Billy, I hope we can hang again soon, man.
Yeah, sounds good. Good to see you. All right, take care.
Awesome. Simple
Take
as
care, bud.
that. Thank you, man.